Hi, welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly. I'm Anthony, and welcome, Fly Scrapers. We have a very special episode today. If you're not a fly scraper and you want to become a fly scraper and you watch the channel, just subscribe. It's that easy. Maybe send a like and always comment, because I do love my comments. I love the community that the channel is building. Speaking of the channel, it's its 1 anniversary. Yes, the baby is 1 year old now, and it's hard to believe I went from no tanks to technically 14 tanks in 1 year. Does that say obsessive compulsive disorder? Oh my God, I cannot get my words out today. Okay. So yeah, that's what it says. But all the tanks are going to be on parade. So what I'm going to do is just span around the room, freestyle, giving you a current look at all the tanks, and not even really so much a takeaway about the tank, but I may point out some highlights that's happening inside the tank. And at the very end, I'm going to show you a new concept tank that I'm working on right now, and you're going to get your first look. Well, if you've watched the Rainbow series, you're going to get your second look at the Rainbow series setup and another look at what we're doing shrimp-wise. The channel gets so much feedback from the shrimp videos and the literal miracles that we have going on with the shrimp. So I'm going to put you guys on pause for a sec. I'm going to get set up so we can go freestyle. And we're going to start off with, of course, where it all started, the Trinity series. Thanks for joining me today. We're off and running. So, Trinity series. If you haven't watched the builds on these, Trinity was the first concept I had. And of course, yes, you guys know how very spiritual I am, and that the channel was brought to me by the divine. And so it's no secret that the Trinity series has a very religious significance to me. And not only that, but the tank on the left is called the Garden of Eden. Now, each one of these started off with a visit with Mother Nature, and where I was prompted to find something that automatically just spoke to me and gave me the inspiration for each one of these. Now, the overall goal was to not focus on the fact that you're looking at 3 tanks. You're looking at one scene, one silhouette, that the reason why you see certain plants that are carried over from one to the next is because really this is one entire body of water, and it's being condensed down to this little snapshot here. But one of the things that was very important for me in the very beginning, and I knew I wanted, well, we've got Garden of Eden to the left. To the middle is Turtle in Motion, and to the right is Bird on a Wire. Now, Turtle in Motion was the very first piece of charred wood I found in a discarded or just an old campfire. And when I picked it up, it has a silhouette of a sea turtle. And I was just drawn to that because I was able to help sea turtles to getting them into the water one evening in Barbados because the lights of the hotel were so bright. And so when I saw the turtle silhouette, I immediately went back to that amazing, beautiful, happy place where I was when that happened. And I knew this was going to be Turtle in Motion. Garden of Eden, the exact same way. The Adam and Eve, which are, this is going to be Adam and this is Eve. They're glued together right in this middle section here, so they curve together. I found those 2 pieces, they were together but separate, and I had to put them in one hand to hold them, and when I did, they fit just like this. And so I knew right then it was Adam and Eve. It just fell together. The other piece of this that's really quite remarkable is my serpent, which is right here. His head is sticking up right there. Now, I found him a couple of days later in a different park, and as you can tell, his wood is molded to this rock, and the rocks are already there, and the rocks are glued into place. He also will float at the very top with his head sticking out above if I want to do that, but I'm trying to encourage my Christmas moss to take over. I put Christmas moss on it. I'm trying to get it to take over. Now, to the right, the far right at the end, is Bird on a Wire. And when I first saw this stick, now, yes, it goes all the way to the ceiling. It's my link between the wood that I placed on the ceiling for plants to trail off of. And as you can tell when I show you that up close up there, the pothos that I picked up had 2 leaves on it. I picked that up off the ground when I was on a layover in Tampa. And it's doing beautiful. I thought it had such beautiful white mottled coloring in it, and I'm so happy that it's done so well here. So part of the build is not just to have the substrate mimic each other, and by that I'm meaning, so on here we kind of have a levelness right here, and then here we have a high point, it comes down, but it does not stop there. If you will notice, this is Nana Golden. Here's Nana Golden, and here's Nana Golden. If you take the trajectory of Adam coming out, he would naturally, if you follow his curvature, his little arch is going just like this, and he would come like this. He would arch back down, turns into golden here, goes all the way down to the head, starts back up here, and goes back out. So the hardscapes all mimic the same symmetry as the substrate, and then there's even a third element to this. If you look at the rocks I have, if these were in like a triangle where their ends were connected, these rocks here would match up to these rocks here. So the detail that I put into this, just, I'm telling you, it wasn't that hard. It just came to me. I think it's because I have a very objective artist eye, and I'm always looking for symmetry, and I'm always looking for cohesion, and I'm looking for balance. Because in nature has balance, and that's what I'm striving for, is balance as well. The one big takeaway on this is that with the original shrimp that we started with, let's see, here it was a monos, here it was snowball, and in that one it was orange rillies. I have no orange rillies, I have no snowballs, and I have one Amano left. So all the original shrimp died off, which is quite unfortunate, but because you guys, if you're fans of the channel, you know that when we had the first blue velvet babies out of blackfish, that I had a ton of them, and they came out different colors. And it freaked me out at first, because then I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep blue velvets because they weren't coming out those colors. But they came out in 3 distinct colors. Well, if I can say that right. Distinct. In this one, it's the true aqua, very, very pale, and I'll give you a close-up. This one, it's ruby red spotted. And in this one, it's black with clear mottled black, some solid black, some so black that you can see a little bit of deep, deep blue in it. So at some point we know that the breeder of those shrimp introduced other shrimp into the genetics. And that's why I didn't get offspring that looked like blue velvets. I was getting offspring, and at first I was crushed. It turned out to be the best miracle that's ever happened, because I have shrimp that don't exist. I have miracle shrimp literally in my tank, because in this one, as long as they have a speck of ruby on them, they're in this tank. If they have a speck of black, they're in the tree of life, which I'm pointing to, but you can't see because I've got the camera going up. And then if they are any form of clear to aqua, they're in turtle. Now, I'm going to focus first on, we're going to go up to bird on a wire. And I have just introduced the blue dreams into this tank. So I want to make sure I can get you. Okay, so I get kudos for, I know you guys like eye level shots. So that's what we're doing. We're going to do eye level shots. Okay, now I'm not sure. Okay, there's one right in the middle. Okay, there's one of my blue dreams. Now I ordered 10 and 8 arrived. And right now I have 4. So half of them died within 72 hours. I'm going to do a review, and I'm going to tell you guys about it at another time, but I'm going to do a review about the I got this off eBay, and I've never bought them off eBay before, and I wasn't happy that the fact that they have a arrive alive guarantee, but they only give you the guarantee when you place your next order, and I wasn't happy about that. So what I do have is, I believe when these arrived, I ordered 2 types of shrimp at the same time. I ordered the Blue Dream and Orange Sunkissed. Now, both, I was supposed to get 10 of each. I got 8 of each. And both of them, 4 died within 3 days, both of them. So I only have 4 left in each tank. But what came in with the batch was one baby that is a Blue Dream. And so there is a baby in there, a small one. So I was excited about that. And I believe we could have almost a mom-to-be in this tank. And one thing I love to point out about this is how I am such a Boost fan, how the Boost sends off these little, you can see right there, it sends off these little runners. It has attached itself to this stick, and they're doing beautifully. Now, none of them have bloomed, which I'm not sure why, because an Aragon has already bloomed, but none of these have bloomed. I've tried Crips, which are, oh, and by the way, I have to show you guys this. This is something that I just found a couple of nights ago. Now, I get up in the middle of the night and I check on my shrimp. I have to see what's going on. Did you see this mound of aqua soil? That was not there. I don't know how they did it. Okay, so there's another one in the background right there. There's another one. Okay, the shrimp, I don't know how, seriously, I don't know how they did this. They created a channel between these 2 rocks right there. There is a massive recess there. They moved all this. Now, I know the aqua soil is very, very light, but they moved it. I don't know who did it, but they must have worked in unison or something, or shift work. I don't know what they were doing. They created a recess underneath there. I'm leaving it. If they want it, it's their tank. But I am trying to get Crips to grow. And I've had such horrible luck with stem plants and Crips that they say once they die off, they grow back stronger, whatever. There's root tabs, not root tabs, the API, but I switched to another brand. Right now I'm using, I've got it right here. It's aquatic fertilizer tabs that I found off of Amazon that are a lot smaller, more dense, and I don't have to break them apart. Because when you break off the root tabs, they start fizzing in the water immediately. And so the whole point about putting a tab fertilizer in there, it's slow releasing. So I'm wondering if all the root tabs I've been using have been ineffective because I'm breaking them and they're starting to fizz immediately, which is not doing me any good. But I'm trying to keep my Vallisneria back here. It's holding its own. It's not dying out as much, but it's all been fertilized. These Rosa minis, I call them Rosa. It's Altherneria, Rosifolia. These are the minis. They're doing well. Some of them aren't as well as the others because, well, hello, they kick up the soil and then it gets dislodged. But as you can see, the root structure in here, there's my accent coming out, there are roots. The root structure in here is amazing. And now you can cut this back and it will it'll send off even more shoots. So depending on how full you want that to be, because there's not caves in this one. This is the only build that does not have a cave. I'm letting the roots grow as thick as they need to because that's cover for the shrimp. And that part is amazing. But here we can go. You can scan up. And you can see how the pothos is doing really, really well. It's going all the way across. So my takeaway on this one is, this is, of course, the golden Leylina. I can't remember what this one is right there. I stuck that in there because I had it extra. And then I've got Vallisneria leopard. So now let's move on to turtle. So I'm hoping, let's get as close up as I can. I'm hoping that Let me see. These are the hardest shrimp in here to see because they are pale. We do have a very, very pregnant female in here. Very, very. I can't wait to see. Her eggs look yellow. She's so pale, her eggs look yellow. Okay, well, you can see them going there, but they're super, super light. Oh, the masking tape on the tanks, that tells me when I'm just going to do a 20% water change. I'll keep it on there. So this is supposed to have, oh, and my monstera has fallen completely down here. Here, I'll just move it for there right now. There's supposed to be an entire wall of Vallisneria behind the whole thing. So you see, I keep forgetting that I have you magnified. I've got the section here that I'm encouraging to grow, and then it's all on the backside. I do see new growth back there. Okay, so I do see new growth. And maybe that means these new fertilizer tabs are working really, really well. One thing that's really kind of fun to point out is the golden right here. Now, you can't see it. This is almost a horseshoe. This is all empty in this middle here, and I threaded it with green thread so I could put the golden in there to give it like a fanfare tail or something like that. And so you can see how it's attaching itself. It has attached itself. I could probably get rid of all the thread, but I'm leaving it on there just in case for safety. I don't want anything falling because I love this. I love the look. And then I'm just seeing for the first time the Nubius. This is the white. This is the white one right there. It started attaching itself first. Then it grew 3 leaves immediately after it attached itself. It had 2 leaves on it for months. And then all of a sudden, it like kicked in. And the one thing I can tell you when you're dealing with boosts, don't move it. Once you get it somewhere, leave it, because it much prefers to be left alone so it can do its little thing. Now here we are at the bottom, and I've thrown in another little bit of color. You can tell I'm still trying to see if I can get my crypts to grow. Some of them have, some of them have not. I'm going to plant more of the Rosa plant, but this one does have a little bit, this one has a little bit of a cave system. So, oh, there's one right there, right in front. So that's how pale they are. And they should not have any other color on them. I tried to pull out all the pale ones that had no indication of any other color. And I wish you could see the female that's pregnant, because she is almost as clear as a ghost shrimp. She's like really, really, really clear. And her eggs that are yellow really stand out bright. So we have not had any babies born out of this tank yet. Now remember, these are blue velvet generation 1 offspring that the parents, I only have 3 of them that, no, I think I have 5, but I think I only have 2 females and the rest are males. And these are the colors I came out with. It was either this color or the other 2 colors that I already mentioned. Oh, here's another one right there. And another one. Okay, there you go. So at least you're getting ready to, whoops, no. At least you can see their color. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad you got to be able to see the colors up close. This tank has always had the best water parameters of all my tanks, and I'm wondering if it's because its wood was charred. So it doesn't leach off anything. It's always very well done. I love the look of these tanks. I'm still happy with it. What I did in the original that I changed is I did add gravel to the top because I wanted it to be the black aqua soil, which was horrible because I grew a whole bunch of dwarf hair grass that just got dislodged continuously. And as a result, it all like died out. Oh, okay, so I guess she's not gonna show. All right, let's move along. I do not want this to be like a 3-hour video. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Okay, now scoot over. Now to Garden of Eden. Okay, I'm getting caught up by my drapes. Now, this one is the one where we have the ruby spotted. There, okay, so you see that one right there crawling? Do you see how that spot is on its head and its tail? Almost every single one of the rubies in here has got coloring on its tail specifically. Now, they are not out. There's a lot more in this tank. The offspring, most of them had ruby on them. You couldn't tell they were ruby when they were born, but yeah. Oh, so there's the head of the serpent right there. Let's see if there's anybody. There's someone at the top. See, there's one up there, and it's got definite red. I found one a couple of days ago that has a lot more red on it, but I don't have any solid, which I was kind of disappointed. I wish I could have had one that came out solid red. They love this little section. Now, there have been, you can't see them because they're too tiny on camera, but there was a birth in here already. And there's one of the babies right there. I have not been able to get in there and look at all of them closely enough because they're not adjusted yet to find out if they're all going to exhibit the same ruby on their bodies. Here is another one right there. Oh, see, they're so hard to see. Where'd he go? See, even I have a hard time seeing them. Okay, here's that one. It's got a tail. Almost all of them, like I said, have their tails have color. And then some it's on their head, and some it's a spot. There's one right there, but it's going to be too little, but it has a red tail. It's right there on the wood. They love hanging out at the wood. They love hanging out at the top. They love to hang upside down at the top. Whatever is growing up there, they just love it. Okay, unfortunately, they're not showing up today because there's usually a lot of activity in there, but it's almost time for their lights to go out. So they're way more active at night. I love all of these because I think they flow beautifully together. I cannot remember. I think this may be, I don't remember if that's a Leylina or not. One of these is a Leylina and one of these is another boost that I had extra. Same thing here though. Here is a crypt that is coming back, but look, in here I've had the worst luck. This was all planted. The back all the way around here was all planted with leopard. And it has not done well at all in this tank for some strange reason. Not sure why, but you know how all tanks are different. Okay, so that is your look at the Trinity. I kind of want to do something. I want to go down and we're going to look at Tree of Life. Okay, so Tree of Life was my second tank, and it was the first 20-gallon long that I was able to do. I wish the tank was wider because my concept, I think, would have come off a little bit easier. The problem I had with this is, okay, I wanted a tree. I wanted a Tree of Life. I wanted the Tree of Life. Yes, another religious reference. And okay, you guys are missing the shrimp that are swimming right in front of the camera, and I just don't have it on them. Now remember, this is one that has the black. So I wanted to build my own tree, and I am not a fan of bonsai trees. They're way overdone in tanks. If you have one, I'm sorry, but they're overdone. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I wanted something different. I found this dead shrub, this is blonde wood, in a storm drain. And what I love about it is it had already been like washed several times by nature. And so I took it apart, I did the build, and I was going to put it in a 10-gallon. Well, it was too big for the 10-gallon, so that's why I thought, okay, well, now I'm going to have to do a I'll do the 20 gallon, which I thought, oh my God, that's so huge. That's twice as big as my other tanks. Of course, remember, that's when I was just doing everything by, whatever. And when I got the 20 gallon long home, it was too small. So I had to add to it. So the tree grew, it had to grow wider. So the purpose of this is it's a irigumi style, inspired. I'm going to stress that it's inspired. So I took the techniques of the style, which means a low front and a high back. And you take something that's imperfect and you make it perfect. Now, I took it as my tree is the imperfect, and I am making it perfect. So when you first look at this tank, you think the tree is dead because you don't see any leaves on the tree whatsoever. And let's span out just a little bit so you can get the full effect. Okay, so, and yes, it breaches the top. I did have plants at the very, very top, but I decided to ex-nay that because I wanted to go back with the original intent of this build. So when I put the tree in there, it's actually too big. I did not allow room to clean it around the sides. A horrible rookie mistake. And there's too many twigs in there because you can't get in there and do anything. And if I do, I end up breaking something, and I don't want to break it because I absolutely love the imperfectness of this. So what you're really seeing is what you think is a dead tree. And when I first built it, the moss was just a hint of greenery, and the Bucephalandra Aragon that's in here were all tiny. They were all little, so you could barely see them. It was just little spots of green. And I loved how it looked because the moss told you, and this is Christmas moss, the moss in there told you that, oh, there is life there. This tree is not dead. And then you can see, when you focused in on the small boost, the tree is being reborn. This tree is the phoenix in its embodiment. You think it's dead, but it's having a rebirth. And the rebirth is happening at the base, which of course it would. And that's kind of where we are right now. And now you can see that also with the style that I'm going for, you should have a carpet plant. Well, I couldn't afford to put a carpeting plant in there because it would have had to cover the entire thing. And remember, when I had grown out my dwarf hair grass, it was supposed to be my carpeting plant and just didn't do anything. So I was very wary of doing a carpeting plant. So what I decided to do is go with my already favorite plant, the rosifolia, and I just placed an order of it specifically with the boost and one order of Christmas moss. That is one order of Christmas moss. It was one little container. And I just split the plant up to give it a field of pink because I thought, let's mimic the prettiest colors in Christmas, like a pinkish and green. And so that's what I've gone with. What I did not expect, you guys will remember, this tank is where we had the Aragon bloom underwater, and it is specifically this plant right there. So that plant back there is the one that bloomed. What I have just seen is there is a brand new little, you can see it right here, right there. See that little plant right there? That's a brand new plant. Do you see there is this little thing right there? It's like a clearish opaque. It is sending off runners under the build, and they move. I kid you not. Okay, 2 days ago, this little runner right here was elevated, and it went all the way over. You can't even see where I'm pointing at. It went all the way over to here. Then it backtracked and started going down again. Then there's another one that goes all the way back up the tank, and it was elevated too, by 2 inches above all the other plants. Well, now it has started to attach itself to the bottom layer of the twig. So I can't do anything with these twigs because I don't want to mess up my Aragon. It's doing so well. It's just absolutely, I think the Aragon was, it was buy 2, get 1 free because I got these from Aquarium Plants Factory, which is usually my preferred place because you get a much better value when you can get the 2 buy two, get one free. And you just have to make sure when you're going to place an order with them, you place every plant at the exact same price. Because I was making a mistake and I was mixing the pricing. So if you are going to pay $20 for a plant and $10 for a plant and $2 for a plant, the one you're going to get free is the $2. You will always pay the full, you'll always pay the high, you'll always get the free one is the lowest one. So if you keep everything like I do, let's say $9.99, every plant has to be $9.99 that I want. Every plant has to be like, I'm going to do a boost order. So the boost I want in another build is $14.99. So guess what? I'm only going to get a plant that costs $14.99 if I don't want three of the same thing. So that's how you can get a variety of plants and you can really save. It's amazing. Plus, when they put a plant on sale, you still get to buy two, get one free. So that's even a better deal. If you're really looking to economize, you could look for the plants that are on sale. Once you put them in the cart, if you get two in there, it'll say, congratulations, you qualify for the buy two, get one free. That means you add another plant. But remember, it's got to be the same price. Okay, that being said, we're having amazing things with the boost. I'm loving how it's looking. The shrimp that are in here, of course, are that breed that we're talking about. These are blue velvets. You can see right here at the bottom, that is a black shrimp right there. It is the one I'm thinking, yes, that's the one that I call mottled. It's not solid. It's got black with like a little bit of clearness in it, but not much at all. Oh, look, just as I'm trying. There you go, there's another one. So what they all have in common is they all share this black characteristic. I wish there's one in here that is black. Ooh, right? Is it this one? No, okay, you see how that one has white? That one's got white in the middle. There's one that is black on both ends with a true blue velvet color in the middle. It's flawless. It is my miracle shrimp, because at some point that meant that this grower, or this breeder, sorry, used a really alongside the colors they were trying to do to get this. And so I have one shrimp in there that is so blue black, and in the middle it's like a blue velvet in the middle. When at night and I turn my flashlight on, oh my God, its colors are amazing. It's so gorgeous. I could just go on and on. So you can see two right there. You can see how they're clear with black. Here comes another one, clear with black. We just had a birthing in here. My mottled black female, and I have seen so far 2 black babies. So I was really excited because my intent is to not have to buy shrimp in the future. I want my colors to stay consistent, and I want to develop that color. Since I know I have something rare that you can't buy, I want to see if I can keep them healthy and multiplying. Of course, I'm not breeding them on purpose. They are breeding as they want, and they're choosing their mates as they want. I'm not going to pull them out and put them into a breeding tank. I just don't feel that would help their nature. I want them to have the freedom of doing what they want to do. And because I've seen videos on how you do it. You just cram a bunch of shrimp in a little bitty, like little container inside a tank, and then when they lay their eggs, they fall down into the egg catcher part. I don't know. To me, that's just not happiness for a shrimp. My shrimp, this is their home. And for most of these that are in here now, they were brought into this build when they were so little that they see this as their home. They have no fear of me whatsoever. And I don't want to go in there and mess things up because I love that about it. So let's back up a little bit. And another point that I wanted to make. Okay, so who we got? No? Okay. So another point I wanted to make is the only technology I've got going in here, because I don't have filters. I do a little 5-watt fountain pump. I do it for 2 reasons. Number one, all of the Blueskilandras really need water flow. That's how it is naturally for them. And that's why they cling to things. And you want them to cling. You want them to be secure. And that's one reason. And number two, most of the shrimp want natural water flow in they have it in their own home environment. So I want to mimic their home environment as much as possible. So that's why I put these little inexpensive little 5-watt pumps at the top. I mean, guys, they are showing off for you today. Fortunate for me, when they swim around, they love to swim around in front and not the back. The back would be tragic because I wouldn't get to see them that much. But I'm so proud of this tank. This is what I call my miracle tank because it's bloomed. A boost is bloomed in here. We have an anomaly color in here that is magnificently gorgeous. And I am just thrilled that it is happening in my tank. So that is the tree of life. I do want to scoot over really quick and we're going to look at our bowls because I just realized, and I was really excited, that I have a mom-to-be, which is my original blue velvet, is in my larger bowl here. Okay, so here's the bowls. Now remember we did, those of you who are a fan of the terrarium where I set, really tight budgets, and then I say, okay, you can go to a thrift store and you can spend $6 and that's all you can spend and we got to make a terrarium out of it. Okay, I did that for the aquascaping side. And so the lowest price here for a tank was $16 and the highest one was $42. Now the $42 was the largest only because I put a expensive crypt in there that has a bronze color on it and it's coming into its own color and it looks really pretty. This is where the large bowl is where I ended up putting a lot of the last of the babies that I pulled out of blackfish. I had to drain blackfish twice to get every single aqua colored or black colored or red colored blue velvet out of there. I mean, I did not realize that they had had another birthing after I drained it the first time and got all of those babies out. No, there was another one and I had to drain it again and tilt it up on a 45-degree angle to make sure I got every single one of the babies out of there before I set that tank back up again to get it ready for its new inhabitants, which were the orange sun-kissed. But right now, the two that are doing really well this is Pink Lady, this is 3G, and that's Brandy over there in the back. Now, Brandy's wood is heavy with tannins. And no, I did not clean any of these tanks for you guys. You're seeing realism, which is what I like, I prefer. But let's zoom in. There are so many little babies in this tank. It's incredible. Now this one, okay, so here's the crypt. Do you see it's on the right? You see there's two of them right up there. See how the longer, thinner leaves? What I love about the bowls is they're just magnified automatically. I don't think you're going to see the mom. Let me take a look. Holy crap, I almost said something else. That is the mom right there. That's the mom with the eggs. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer for you guys. Yeah, you can see the eggs right there. So she's part of my original. She's one of the two females that was able to give birth. She's flying to the babies. Okay, so cool. She was one of the two that were giving birth to all these different colors. Now, one or two of her males are in here with her that were in that tank with her. There are really good chances that I could end up with another batch. Okay, is she giving birth right now? don't see if there's anything. Oh, let me get closer. If we could catch that, oh my gosh. Okay, but I got to pull out magnifying glass. Oh, don't move. Okay, so there's a red spotted one next to her. No, it doesn't look like she's releasing anything. No. So it looks like each row has at least like four eggs in each one of the like little rows where the eggs are. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. God, there's at least, I took the shield shot. So she's oxygenating them all, I believe is what that is. Hope you guys can still see this. No, but there's nothing. This is great timing because the light is right behind her. So it just determines which one of these males have mated with her. Like there's a large one right here that's coming towards your camera, and it has red on it. So if she mates with the red, chances are, yeah, we could have more red showing up. But there are 2 of the aqua ones in there. But no, she's not. Yeah, she's just feeding apparently. Okay. Well, that was pretty cool though. I'm excited to see that. I just found her yesterday, which is amazing. Wish I could go a little bit tighter, but no. Not gonna let me. Make sure she's not gonna be, she's gonna be camera shy. Oh, see. Okay, there you go. Okay, you can see the red one. And back up just a little bit. There you go. That's more in focus. I want you to get a good shot. You just need her to turn a little bit so you can get a good shot of her side. I can't tell you how many babies are in here because there's a lot. I know I put a lot in here. I literally put the majority of the last of those babies into this one because it's larger. And wow, what was that? Just like looking right at the camera. Here, I'll get my magnifying glass out. I don't know why I'm whispering. Okay, come on. She's like, no, I don't know. I don't think so. Okay. I don't know, maybe she can see me. There you go. There's her eggs. Oh. It's having a hard time figuring out where to focus. So that's it right there. I'm trying to think. Okay, so the crypt in there that I paid the high price for, it's doing well. So this tank, despite these little bowls having a hard time with their water parameters, because they always say it's so much harder for a small tank, it is. It does not seem to be stopping them from breeding naturally, which is amazing. What I did was I did move my spotted Hoya into here so that it would help filter, but this one doesn't even have a little pump going in it. And pink, which I just love, this is where I had my last orange really, and it crawled out, which I was devastated. And it just has 2 or 3 in there now. I need to add more to this one. And then also Brandy, she needs to have her walls cleaned. I need to wipe her down, but I just topped them off a few days ago. And this is where I put some of the plants that I don't know if they're going to survive, so I'll put them in here. It doesn't look like they're going to. I haven't had much luck, and I'm not having much luck with the crypts growing in this one as well. So that's our bowls. So 2 of them are doing really well. One of them kind of sucks, but it is the smallest. That may have something to do with it. So now let's move on to blackfish. Okay, so blackfish. You guys know this is my one political tank based on the documentary Blackfish about SeaWorld and how they treat their majestic animals that they keep in captivity is like, it's just horrifying. And so the concept behind this is when I found this, to me it looked just like a whale when I saw it. It has, I'll turn it around but you can see it, but it has its fin goes all the way to the back behind this rock here. And then it has this nose section up here. Now this is supposed to be theoretically the skeleton because Blackfish died. And what I wanted was no plants, no substrate, nothing. I just wanted it to, it looked like it had settled on a rocky bottom. But Blackfish is being reborn because of all things in nature, life comes out of death. And so that's what you're looking at. You're looking at the organisms and the plants that have grown out of what is decaying. And what I love about this is that all the greenery is focused just on Blackfish itself. And I think I just love it. Now in here are the orange sun-kissed. They've only been in here a short while, and they are literally timid like crazy. So we have a little bit of Boos, and then really a lot of Anubias that goes up. One breaches the water. The one that breaches the water doesn't do that well. Some failing Java fern and some other Boos here. But the rocks were gathered with my family on a weekend in a local river, and the overabundance of snails I'm letting grow right now because the shrimp love the snails. When I kill them inside there, when I squish them, they come right after it and they just eat it. So I have 4 of the orange sun-kissed that were from the order, and then I have 10 juveniles. So we've had a birth. Oh, there's one. We've had a birth, and then we've recently had a second, but I've only found 2 of its babies. Of course, they're probably hiding because Blackfish is hollow on the inside, so they can go all the way. And the one thing that's great about this, Blackfish is attached via suction cups to the glass bottom. These rocks have all been placed around it, so there's nothing but caves under here. And then there's a virtual cave inside of Blackfish itself. You can, this whole opening, well, hang on. This whole opening right in here under this greenery opens and it goes inside, and it's hollow in this section down through here. And I'll show you on the other side how it affects it. But there's one of the sun-kissed. Let's go quickly to the other side so you can see what it looks like. Now this is technically my view, which I chose the view that I like. Unfortunately, it's got the lighting, it's got my faucet, you know, okay, so it's not ideal for you guys, but there is another one of the sun-kissed. Right there. So they're orange, but they got more like a darker orange on them. So far, their juveniles seem pretty much orange, which I'm loving that effect. What looks cool in here is they are hard to find because they blend in so well with the pebbles that are around here. And so I'm mesmerized by this. I'm loving it, the fact that it's right here at the kitchen. I can stand there and look at it from either direction. But let me put you guys on pause. I need to turn the lights on to the next tanks, the Rainbow series. If I do that though, we're gonna go freestyle. I saw some babies. No? There, right there. See that? So they're pale. And it was just yesterday I counted the most. I counted 10. So I'm hoping, okay, if that's a good solid 10, we have the 4 adults, and then we've had another set breed. I just don't know how many there are because I've only seen 2, and I haven't seen any in a few days. Okay, so here's, okay, there it is up close. They're really striking. So here's the build up close. Camera's having issues. Okay, there we go there. And now I'm going to flip to the other side. Okay, yeah, there is nobody else out. Everybody's hiding right now. This side has a deep recess in it, which is why I put it on my view. And then I sort of like fell in love with it. So I was like, okay, well, it's okay right there. Java fern that I never can grow. I won't buy any more Java fern. Absolutely. Okay, so that's that. All right, here we have it. Here's the Rainbow series. They have only been up for 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks. I just put their pump in, each one of them, to get their water moving. So they've got their biofilm in bloom. You can see it's really kind of interesting to look and see which ones are having the hardest time with their tannins and which ones are having an easier time. So let's kind of go in order. We'll say the one I am the most unhappy with that's not coming across as my color is blue. And that's the one at the bottom right. There's just freaking not anything blue out there. So I did put a lot of boosts in there because I'm hoping that some iridescence come out of that color. There's just not blue. It's just going to have blue shrimp. That's going to be it. So that's the one that's kind of disappointing. But here, let's go freestyle, which we'll have to do. And let's go by color. Let's start with red. So red, you can kind of really tell now in the rocks, it's coming across really, really cool. The plants that I put in are right at the top. And hopefully this is full spectrum, and I'm keeping it on for 6 hours at its highest level because I want to encourage it to turn red. I'm hoping this one is an easier one to do. I've already been looking at what kind of shrimp I want to put in here. Probably a Bloody Mary. I think that's got the color I like the most. So then let's drop down to orange. Here is orange, which this one I'm really happy about because the orange comes off in the rocks, it comes off in the wood, and I put the plant in there that's supposed to get like a yellowy, orangey color if it can. And then of course, it wouldn't be a tank without me putting in a couple of boosts. But this one I really love. I love that the rock feature in the background makes it look like a mountain. I'm just loving this one. I think this one is amazing. So next would be yellow-green. That is our sunken giant, which, oh my gosh, while I was setting this up, I destroyed it. I had to dry it back out with the plants in it, rebuild him. He's off a little bit, but it's the only way I could get him to stay. But I'm hoping for success with this one because I love the fact that my little waterfall's back there, and I did glue the rock to the wood structure this time, and I think it's just a great little look. So I still can't, I think I'm going to go with straight up yellow shrimp in here. And then let's go to my blue, which is here. And I took advantage of the buy two, get one. And so I chose, I think this is 4 different varieties. It's giant, I think it's giant Catherine, centipede, brownie, and balloon. So I've got 4. So I got like, you know, like one of, so I could expand the repertoire. And then I put some Anubias in there. I can't remember the Anubias name, but to put them at the base. That's the one that's not going to be representative of its color, except for the shrimp that's going to be in there. And then violet. So this is where we put the plant that's supposed to get a violet hue under the right lighting. This is the one that's the scorpion hardscape with the kind of white rocks. And I'm loving this one. I did add my Anubias butterfly that was being held in blackfish, but when I went with my original, back to my original intent, I'm glad I pulled it out because I wanted blackfish just to have the color on itself. And this had a void spot over here without having anything because all the plants are huge. I didn't realize they were going to be that big. They're already at the top. And I'm just hoping I get some really cool growth and some cool colors out of them. You can see their stems have a little bit of color, but I'm hoping we get a lot more than that. Overall, I'm really happy the way these turned out. And let's go back and give you the final, sorry about that. The final look of them. I love seeing them here. The lighting that I put is the same lighting that's on the other tanks on the other side. What's amazing about this, that light strip, the LED strip is exactly the width of the inside of the lip of that tank. That is another reason why I keep the base and the top on these tanks, because I do use them to put things on, and the lighting is right there. It's so streamlined. I just love it. I think it makes a really cool aesthetic. Now there's one that no one has seen. Let's go for it. Okay, my concept tank. Now, this one has a story. It doesn't have a name yet, but it does have a story. What you're looking at, and this has only been up for a week, what you're looking at on the right back is a dormant volcano, which is why you see black on the rock, is because that's old lava that has dried and fallen into the crevices. And what you're looking at the base is lava rock. That's supposed to be my interpretation, or the best I could kind of come up with, of what it would look like underwater. You know how lava makes these really cool different designs, and this is looking like where one popped up and then dried, another one popped up and dried. And so that's really what you're looking at here. Now, this is a flooded scene. This is a sunken world now. This is an ancient archaeological site. We don't know why these rocks that should not be there are there, and we don't know why they're set up like this. Now, we can assume that the rocks that are fallen were part of something that was a bigger structure, but what we have left is right here, right now. And so this technically is an archaeological site that's sunken with a dormant volcano. And the only plant I have in here is the Anubias supernova. It's 3. And I'm going to probably put one type of boost in here to go in just a few places in the black rock, maybe 1 or 2 on the hardscape itself. I think I'm going to go with Pink Godzilla because the leaves come out a different color before they turn deep green. And I think it would be a nice contrast to this is my attempt at a minimalist. And I had these pitted white rocks with black and gray spots in them. And I thought, okay, this was originally what I was going to do is put it like that was like a water within a sunken land, but I didn't have enough of the rocks to give it a curvature of like a stream. And the hardscape, so everything in here, the black rock I had left over from a water tabletop fountain. The pitted ones I had left over from another build. The hardscape is recycled Harry Potter terrarium that I took off the hurricane globe that was on it and then submerged it. I had this built and then had to take it apart because the wood is so lightweight that I had to go back and use suction cups for this as well, which is my preferred method. When you have like some big wood, suction cup and a fishing line, it's so much easier for me than trying to glue everything together. Besides, I like things to be adjustable. So by not gluing it, I can do anything I want with it. So the woodscape in there is attached and it doesn't move. It moves like maybe 1/4 of an inch at the most, but it doesn't move. And when it was the Harry Potter build, it had the Elder Wand in it. I was going to leave the hurricane on it, which I did originally, until I realized when it was the Harry Potter terrarium, for the terrarium to sit level, I had to build it up on one side. When I took all those little floor tabs, those little carpeted floor tabs that you can put down to not get scuff marks, I had like about 4 of them built up in one spot just to get the terrarium to be level, and then it looked right. Well, when you put it in here, I had to take those off. Well, the entire build set back too far. The hurricane lantern was up way too high, and it couldn't tilt back far enough because the wood on the front of the build was already touching the glass. So this wood goes from front to back, but I have room to clean the entire thing, which is really, really nice. I do love the supernova in here because I think it gives this, ethereal view of an underwater, kind of really cool place. And I'm teetering on 2 types of shrimp that I want to introduce into here. I'm looking for another color family. And of course, I'm going to do generic ones for the rainbow series. I don't have yellow though, so I'm going to have to buy most of the colors to get the colors I want. But in here, I am going to do a specialty color, like maybe either a jade or it's not called jade, but it is a green that's a really. I saw a photo of it and I thought it was gorgeous. And so I thought, okay, that's maybe what I'll put in there. So I've got like 3 choices for this tank alone that I want to focus on. But this one has had its water in it no more than 4 days. The biofilm, I think, looks incredible in it. The way it's growing just in like really 2 places. I just put the pump in here as well because I did order, I found on Amazon where I got 2 for like the price of $12, which is, it made it $6 for each pump, and they're just as good as any other pumps. They're a lot more expensive. Excuse me. Zoom in a little bit. But no name yet, so I'm not sure. Not sure about the name, but I do love the concept. I love it that it's minimalist and I'm not crowding it. I love that so far. Now to get it out, yeah, I'd have to like tilt it to get it out because it's going to be blocked. But we're not worried about that now, are we? No, we're not. And I love it that everything is recycled. So basically the only price I've paid for this so far is the tank, which was $30. And I'm going to spend $30 on a plant. And that's it. This is going to cost me $60, and that's it for this build. This is another example of me trying to show you guys how well we can really save money and be smart about this. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, then we're going to have to do shrimp. So 60 is going to turn into 97. So it's going to be $100 by the time we're done. I did not want any substrate. I wanted something that was very bare. And I love the fact that these rocks do not look wet underwater. They don't have a shine to them. That is something I didn't know when I bought them. And so when I did set it up as a tabletop fountain, I love that the water would glisten over it, but the rocks wouldn't get like a shine to it or anything like that. So I was really, 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 happy about that. So I'm just going to let the Rainbow Series and this tank, probably going to give them a month. Although I did put quick start in all of them. I mean, we could technically put shrimp in them right now, but until their water has been in them at least 2 weeks and I get to do some testing, I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to let it do their own. These dudes on this size now are also on a 6-hour-a-day timer, so I don't have as much algae popping up because a lot of my shrimp are babies. And I don't want to overwhelm the tanks like I did before, especially in Tree of Life, because it had a massive algae outbreak when I had the lighting on too high. So I am so excited to be able to show this to you guys. Let me get maybe an up close on this one. Let me go a little, see if I can do any, or it may not be necessary because there's really nothing else in there. But you can kind of get the idea. I was going to see if I could show you the detail, the wood detail. I found both of these pieces at the exact same time, these stumps. There's a place right here where, right there, there's a groove right there. I could put a boost plant right there if I want. There's another one down here that I could put one in there if I want. And then I was thinking of doing one like either in the corner here or right here between these three. Now, I've already knocked these two rocks off, and so I just left them. Everything else, like these three over here, they're held in together by each other. The same way with this one. There's like 2 rocks behind this 3, so they're being held into place. And this larger one here is going across the entire top of a piece of wood, so it's being balanced in place. That's the only one. I don't know if I want to leave that one there and maybe put it on the foreground, maybe somewhere in here. So that I may move that one that's back here, because you really can't see it. You can see it from the other side, but you can't see it from this side. So let me just get set up so I can show you the final scene we're going to do. Okay, so thank you today for being here and sharing this momentous moment when the channel is 1 year old. I've been scheduling your videos out so that you'll have a video that'll pop every Saturday at 8 a.m. so I can fill them whenever I have time between trips, and then I don't have to worry about loading them at that same time. So I've scheduled them all as premieres so that you guys will have a consistent flow of videos coming out. And it's a lot easier that way, that I'll know that something is always coming out on every Saturday. And then when I do my little updates, like 1 or 3 minute videos, those I just let go out whenever I'm doing them. But this is where I'm going to get you I'm getting real humble and real appreciative of my squad. Those of you who comment, you have no idea how your comments are so amazing. Like I said at the beginning of this, the love that comes to this channel is unbelievable. And the energy you feed me back is amazing. And the likes and the viewership. I know the channel, I have faith, the channel is going to be a big channel. And I love the fact that my channel is different. I don't show perfection. I show realism on a real person, documenting what's going on in their tanks constantly. You've seen the struggles I've had with my water parameters. And once we've introduced the RO system, it's been a game changer. And that's been amazing. I mean, we would not have newborn shrimp out of all the tanks if we were not doing something right. And that is one thing that I'm so proud of. We wouldn't see the growth in the plants of the booths if we weren't doing something right. And you guys give me constant encouragement and love. And I'm so grateful for that. So keep it up. And until you see me in the sky as your flight attendant, it could happen. Or on the next video update. I'm sending you guys nothing but light and love. And you guys have a great day. And again, thanks for joining me. It means a lot. Bye-bye.